Hey, good morning everyone. How are you? Welcome along to today's stream. We are in Bristol Airport in the A320 and we're heading down to Malaga, right in the south of Spain today. Haven't been to Malaga before. I'm going there in real life soon-ish. Well, not soonish actually, ages away. At some point I will be going to Malaga. So I figured we'd fly down there and see what's what, see what it's all about. Heavy, how you doing? Good to see you again. Yeah, I'm well, thank you. It's good to be flying again. I feel like I haven't done a lot of flying this last few days. Mostly because the new Call of Duty's been out and I've been binge playing that. And last week was a bit weird anyway, just because of the different schedule. It's like school holidays here and kids are at home and it was all a bit different, so. All good though. It's nice to be back. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. Right. So we're doing a cold and dark from Bristol today, so let's hop in and see what it's all about, shall we? Hey, Matthew, how's it going? Nice to see you again. So I'm running at 30 FPS today, so let me know if it looks weird at any point. I mean, sometimes it does when you switch between views, like if you go from like that view to that view, it can look a bit weird. The idea behind it is that I use less energy. Because looking at my GPU, if I restrict it to 30 FPS, I save loads of power, which makes the long haul flights more economically viable, put it that way. Alright. Let's get ourselves fired up, shall we? We've got parking brakes on. Let's get the batteries on. External power available because of the truck outside. So we'll have that too. You got a pet bug? No way. Right, okay, true story. I have a pet slug at the moment inside the shed that I'm in. So for those that don't know, I kind of do all my gaming and simming in a shed outside of the house. And I don't know how, because when I renovated the shed, I like insulated it, I put plasterboard up all over the place. It's like being in, when you're in the shed, you wouldn't know you're in a shed. It's like being in a house. It's just like a room in a house. And I always keep the door shut. The door is sealed. There's no way for any creepy crawlies to get in. Even the air vents I've installed to like extract the warm air from the PC and to draw in fresh air from the outside, those have all got like guards on them and like mesh so that bugs can't crawl through and get in here. And yet there is a slug trail on my carpet every morning when I come in. And I don't know where the slug is. I cannot find the slug. I don't know what to tell you, but there is a slug in here somewhere. And then that makes you think, why is the fuel thing come up? Get out of the way. It makes you think, like, if a slug can get in, what else has gone in? It's like, ooh. Alright, nav and logo lights. Let's get those on. And we'll do APU master. And we'll wait for this available light down here. So yeah, I think at some point I am going to catch the slug. At some point he's going to like come out and I'm going to be like, aha, there you are. There is a small gap between my sort of skirting board and the carpet at one point. So I've got my suspicions he's in there somewhere. I don't know. I'm fairly certain it's a slug because I noticed this really big fat slug that was living on like the bottom of my door on the outside. You know, like you get the little trim that sort of goes along the bottom of your door. There was a really big fat slug and he was there for days and days and days and weeks. I always saw it was always like every time I'd go in the shed it was sort of like, oh hey slug, and I'd sort of walk over him. Imagine it's behind my PC. Imagine if it's in the PC. Oh, that'd be awful, wouldn't it? If it like shorted out my GPU with like slug juice. Ugh. That would not be good. That would not be good. Would not be good. So yeah, it's a bit weird that. Why is that light not coming on? Oh, I haven't clicked it. Muppet. Yeah, the slug is clearly an aviation enthusiast. So I think flight time today, we're looking at about 2.5 hours. I think the plan is we'll go through the cold and dark together, get ourselves taken off, get us up to cruise, and then I will let you all enjoy the views with some tunes as we make our way down to Malaga. As far as routing goes, you can sort of see from the mini-map we're going to take off from Bristol, almost do a U-turn immediately out, because we're taking off on runway 09 to the east. So we're going to come round to the west. And then head down across Devon, as you can see there. The SID we're taking is called Exmoor, so Exmoor is here, just like a moorland. We'll head on over that, across the English Channel, just sort of kiss the coast of Normandy as we, not Normandy, Brittany, or France, and then we head straight over the Bay of Biscay towards Spain, and we sort of pick up Spain not far off of the sort of Spanish-Portuguese border. So we'll just do the APU bleed, get the APU fired up. And we'll get these on. 1, 2, 3. I will make an admission right now. I've set the time that this takes to calibrate to instant just because it's taking so long. Morning, Nick. How's it going? Okay, let's get our fuel pumps on. Resupply oxygen. Not seeing any white lights. Oh, you made it this time, Nick. Well done. It's good to see you. You're right. Hope you're all well. On the emergency lights. No smoking to auto. And we can kill the external power now, because we are running on the APU, which is the little jet in the tail cone. Alright, nice. What is our local pressure? 1012. Not far off the default there. Okay, ATSU, AOC, weight and balance. Let's request our weights from SimBrief. There you go, it's pre-populated. There we go. And yes, I did set the boarding time to instant because it takes forever. Flying to an airport. Flying to Malaga, Nick, from Bristol. Malaga in the south of Spain. Very nice it is too. Right, let's go to Inet. Oh, it's already done it. We'll do it again anyway. It's cool. Init there. Happy days. Right, flight plan. Loading that in for us. Yeah, I'm actually going to Malaga. I'm not sure when, at some point next year. So I figured we'd go and see what it's all about. Right, let's take off on runway 09. Strange that we're taking off to the east to then have to turn around and then immediately fly to the west, but whatever. I'll be a good boy and do as I'm told. Alright, X more. Insert that one. Get rid of that. Oops. Clear. Have a look at the plan. What is the plan? That is strange. So it wants us to take off on runway 09. Can't be right, can it? I don't know, we may have to do a turn. So we just take off on runway 9. Did I select 9? Funny feeling I did. 27 would have made more sense. Seeing as we're going that way and all. If we do this. Yeah. 27 would make more sense. Because otherwise we're just going to literally get up there and turn around. Which makes no sense. We may as well take off in the direction. Change of plan. We're taking off runway 27. There we go. So we take off, head over Exmoor and make a turn. Morning TK. How's it going? When am I going to pick it up? It's not in my immediate future, let's put it that way. Not in my immediate future. 3.5, 5.5, 6. When are we going to fly the 747? That's a good point, Nick. I was thinking about that over the weekend. And I was thinking maybe I could do one of my unmanned live streams in the 747 where I do like a long haul, like super long haul flight. And then perhaps do that in the 747. That could be cool. Maybe like London to New York. That could be quite cool. Maybe do the Salty Sims mod on it as well. That could be a plan. ILS 12Y. Oh, what was our star going into Malaga? Volp 2K. Let's hope it's in here. There it is. Amigo, that could potentially make the most sense. I'm gonna get some chips, don't drop them. Don't drop them. Morning, Art. How's things? Don't mind us, we're just going through our flight plan at the moment. Okay, let's... So there's Malaga, runway 12. Let's just sort of step back and see how our approach is planned. So back we go. It's all looking neat and tidy. That's looking pretty good, isn't it? Nice. Hello, Tom. How's it going? There's a spammer. Is it a spammer though? I mean, I don't really know what they're talking about, but Malaga's your second home? Oh, cool. Right. I think that's our flight plan sorted out, so that's good. Let's give him one more chance. Shall we? Because we're a kind bunch, after all. Right. Sorry, I was just drinking coffee then. Okay, we'll do flaps 1, then UP 0.1 in there. Just put minus 50 in there, because why not? Go into a knit, next page, get our 0 fuel weight, which it will pull from... Oh yeah, okay. A 4-star hand. Goody goody. We're almost ready to go, I think. We're not far off. Set our weather to auto. Get that door locked. Have I heard of Euro Aviation TV? Oh god, they're back. Obviously didn't do it right, did I? I've reported them now, so hopefully it will go away and not come back. Right. Apologies, just dealing with the spammer there. Have I heard of Euro Aviation TV? Oh right, I see, yeah. Yeah, but there's a bot or two there. Have we got a tug? We don't have a tug, do we? Are we going to be able to get pushed back? That could be an issue, couldn't it? Let's call the tug. There is no tug, is there? There is no tug. Alright, so I think we're going to go to flight level, put 6,000 in the window to start with. How are they back again? You know what, Tom? I think we're going to have to. Like, genuinely. Unless the plane can do it. If we take the parking brake off. Yeah, it'll do it without the tug. through the tablet. Just trying to work out which way we want to go. Let's go this way. Very strange doing it through this tablet. I should probably pay for GSX Pro. Yeah, so I think we want to head down to here. Or do we? Yeah, we want to go down to there, don't we? I do have rudder pedals, yes I do. Couldn't live without them. Once you've had them once, that's like it. Yeah, can't be without rudder pedals once you've had them once. Alright, external power's off. That's on, and beacons are on. So let's see if we can start an engine or two, shall we? Go. Yeah, I've got the Logitech rudder pedals, Tom. The ones that were the Satex years ago. Yeah, so we're going to do a little loop, go down to here and take off. That's the plan. Yeah, it's Halloween here as well. I guess it's, yeah, of course you're in the future, aren't you? Always forget you're in the future. Oh, you got the CH, yeah, the Pro Pedal CH, nice. They're spinning away nicely. Alright. Alright, let's get our top panel sorted up here. So we can do APU bleed off now because we're running on our own power of the engines. We don't need the APU anymore. And just in case we have a problem, we'll set auto brakes to max. Set flaps to 1 for takeoff. Goody goody. Everything else is looking good. Those are armed. Strobes on. And our nose lights to taxi. Runway turn off. It's time for us to have a little taxi. Why are my rudder pedals not working? They are. What's going on here? Come on. They're not working. Ah! Alright, let's go into the controls. Make sure I haven't got them set up wrong. See if I can calibrate them. Yeah, look. Oh god, they're back. Okay, so that's weird. Why is the plane not... That literally makes no sense. Am I doing something silly? Because look, they're moving here as well, look. Right. Hold the line. It's not like in settings or anything weird, is it? Separate tiller for ruddles, disabled. Oh, I know what it is. Does it still think we've got the tug attached? Yeah, it does. Even though the tug isn't there. What? There we go. Yeah, it thought the tug was still attached, despite the fact that it was never attached for the pushback. So you get all the right procedures on this channel. Right, let's find this line. See if we can have a nice, uneventful taxi. So I've turned up all the detail on my graphics card to like 400 level of detail today. Because I'm running DLSS now, so I'm curious as to whether running DLSS will afford me to have higher quality shadows and graphics, so I'm doing all of that. No worries, Bevy, see you later. Irish Captains, how you doing? These screens brightened up a bit. You wish it was in 4K. Yeah, I was thinking about 4K. But then that will make my FPS and power bill take even more of a hit. Neither of which seem like a good idea right now, let's put it that way. Like I say, I've limited the FPS to 30. I'm playing at 1440p. I guess I could stream at 1440 on YouTube. It kind of feels like beyond 1080p, especially when YouTubers compressed your feed anyway. Feels a little bit like diminishing returns at that point. Right, let's just hold short here for a moment. Set our lights to take off. Test our takeoff config. Ah. Oh, of course. Right, I don't know why it does this. Good job I did check that. Every time I go into settings and then come out, speed brakes come out and flaps go to full. I don't know why that is. Really annoying. It was a good job we did do the takeoff test. Screens up a touch. Takeoff config normal. Good! Right. Just gonna grab your popcorn. Be quick. Going out to line up. Go, we're here. This is the first time you've ever showed us the free flight. I don't know what you mean. Not sure what you mean there, sorry. Feel free to reply and let me know. Right, we're good to go. Let's go to Malaga, shall we? A little bit of wind on the runway, not much. No, we've done pre-flight before. Blimey, that is a lot of wind on that runway. Whoa! That is seriously windy. Gear up. I know what I didn't do. I didn't set my takeoff speeds. I didn't have the little markers on the tape there, did I? Yeah, we've done a few pre-flight flights in the past. It's just I do struggle to do them all the time because of the time that they take and the time that I have available. That's the problem. Alright, why aren't we... For whatever reason, the flight computer didn't want to take us to where we were supposed to go there. That's strange. It's better. So we need to be above 3,500 and at 250 for this one. Which is fine. Then 5,500 for the next waypoint. Yeah, I would like to hand fly a bit more. I really want to get that Thrustmaster yoke. I feel compelled to get that. Good point, yes they are. Just get it once and for all. It's a lot of money, you know, it's not cheap. It's one of those things where the Airbus Thrustmaster stick is so affordable. I mean, you can pick it up here for like $49.99 sometimes. And that does everything you need, really. It does, not necessarily in the best way possible, but it does everything you need. And again, it's like, at what point are you into diminishing returns? Spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Dunno. Tricky one. Can you show us your graphics settings? Yeah, basically everything is maxed out. Just whatever you can put it to the maximum. And then I use DLSS quality mode. And I cap the GPU to 30 FPS. Because frankly, in a game like this, you don't need anything more than 30. One thing I had was... Okay, so at 5,500. Need to be at exactly 6,000 for the next one in 11 miles. Can I fly 787-10 next? You know what? I was thinking about that because I went to great expense to buy the premium deluxe edition of this not very long ago, and I really haven't. And one of the reasons was, in the back of my mind, was oh, and then we'll have the 787. I haven't really flown it that much. No, I don't add any payware. No payware whatsoever. This is just standard stuff. I mean, if anything, it should look worse because I'm running DLSS. Do you all know what DLSS is, out of interest? Okay, so DLSS, for those that don't know, it's if you've got an Nvidia graphics card, because it's a proprietary Nvidia technology, so you can't get it on AMD cards or Intel, because they've launched a couple of cards now. Not that you should buy them, but what it does, let's say you're playing at 4K. Now 4K doesn't really matter what you're playing. 4K is going to push any graphics card quite hard if you're playing anything modern, especially something like this. Or I don't know, you're playing the new Battlefield or Call of Duty, like big 3D intent. 4K is really hard. And you might struggle to hit 60 frames a second. You might struggle to hit 144 frames per second if you've got a snazzy high refresh rate monitor. So what DLSS does, it tells the game to render itself at a lower resolution. So let's say it renders it at 1080p. Then it uses the AI cores that it has on the GPU to upscale it to the resolution of your screen. So really your GPU is rendering it at a much lower resolution, and then the tensor cores on the Nvidia GPU, which are like the AI cores, upscale it nicely for us. Now most of the time you'd never know, because it is that good. It's very impressive. But there are occasions where sometimes you just notice little weird bits, and the kind of places you'd notice it, I don't know if you can see these little tiny things that stick out on the wing. They're quite thin. Those are the kind of bits where you might find trouble. I don't know if any of you have played Cyberpunk, but when that came out, that was all the rage, because it was very, very graphically beautiful, but obviously incredibly demanding. Like even the top-end Nvidia chips at the time struggled to enable all the settings like ray tracing and all that stuff. So a lot of people, myself included, would run DLSS, because it's like you could get all the visual quality, so you could turn on ray tracing, you could have all the stuff. But if you turn on DLSS, obviously you're then running at a much lower resolution, and then you let the AI scale it up to look good on your monitor. But things like, I don't know, like a chain link fence perhaps, that sort of thing, that can catch DLSS out sometimes. There's DLSS 3 that's coming out, so we're on version 2 at the moment, which is what I'm running and what I've been running for some time. Version 3 is a little bit different in the sense that it inserts frames. So I'm not entirely sold on the idea, to be quite honest with you. Because if you imagine the game engine outputs frame number 1 and then frame number 2, what DLSS 3 tries to do, it looks at both of those frames and inserts a new one in the middle that is an interpretation of what the difference is between frame 1 and 2. So it's kind of like a fake frame that it inserts, almost like motion smoothing on TVs years ago. Or now even, where everything looks super smooth but sometimes just a bit weird. So it's kind of like that. You don't have to download DLSS if you've got an Nvidia GPU that is like a certain generation and above. I forget which ones. It should just be in the menu, in the settings. You just turn it on. I think in Flight Sim it's under anti-aliasing, which is a weird way to put it, because it's not that really. It's an upscaling technology. Can IT design aeroplane computers? I don't know. Depends on the person, I guess. I've no doubt that people do. Well, obviously they do. They have to. They exist, so someone has to make them, and probably computer people. No worries, Tom. See you in a bit. I think you'd probably need a real-time OS specialist for that. Because if you think about what Microsoft Windows and like Mac OS and all that stuff, it's not a real-time OS. Things don't have to happen in real time. If you click a button, and it sits there and waits for a couple of seconds and then does the thing. It doesn't really matter. It can be annoying. It doesn't really matter. Whereas on a plane, imagine if like the nav data doesn't update for a few seconds. Well, that's a problem. So everything has to happen in real time, and that is a class of operating systems, a real-time operating system. So you probably want real-time operating system specialists working on that stuff, or if you want to work on that stuff, probably aim to become one. DLSS is only an RTX. Yes, it is. Yeah, because it uses the tensor cores, so your 1650 Super can't do it. That would make sense. Yeah. Sorry for getting your hopes up. DLSS 3 is only available on the new 40 series Nvidia cards, which are really expensive. They're like £2,000 here. That being said, AMD have got new GPUs that they're announcing on Thursday, so if you are in the market, might be worth watching their keynote on Thursday. What's the biggest mistake I've ever done on the flight sim? I don't know. First one that comes to mind is a landing I did at Bristol, which is where we've just taken off from. I completely misjudged the descent, and we ended up coming in way too hot, way too high, way too fast, so I had to do a go around. But it kind of rattled me a little bit because I was on stream doing it live. I was quite early in my streaming days as well, so I was a little bit rattled by it. I kind of just wanted to get down and get the stream ended because I felt a bit silly. So I rushed to do the go-around, looped back around too quickly, and ended up coming in too high again. So then I had to go around again, and then we finally got down. But yeah, that was an annoying end to the stream. I think the biggest thing with this channel was becoming okay with making mistakes, especially in front of people on stream. I think because like as soon as you stream, there's almost like this expectation you put on yourself where you need to be perfect. Like, everything has to be perfect. I can't make any mistakes in front of people, otherwise they'll think I'm rubbish and they'll leave the channel and they'll leave me nasty comments. Actually, once you kind of get past that, and you're quite open about the fact that, yeah, I make mistakes, like, I'm learning, life becomes a lot easier. Oh, it's only 5 PM where you are, nice. So what's that, it's 7 hours ahead of us? Because our clocks changed this weekend in the UK. Clocks went back an hour. Just fine by me. That was another hour to play Call of Duty yesterday. Such a good game. The new one is an absolute joy. Nothing's beeping up here, so that's always good. When you're a pilot, you can't make mistakes. That's true, but I am not a pilot. And I think you'll find pilots do make mistakes. Just look at that. Where was it? There was that one that overshot the runway, wasn't there? Was it Korea? Or Indonesia? I forget where it was. It looked like a fairly big plane. I couldn't quite make out what it was. Maybe a 777 or an A330? They're on their third go-around. And I think the rule is you get 3 chances, then you have to divert. .747 from SkyCube. No, it was on the news like a few days ago. I wonder whether, because they're on their third landing attempt, it's like if we get this one wrong we have to go around and that's going to take forever and it's going to be annoying. Whether they tried a little bit too hard to get it down and perhaps when they shouldn't have. How long will the flight take? So probably looking at about, from here I'd say about 2 hours down to Malaga, roughly. By the time we've descended and slowed down and done the approach. If you look at the stats on the top of your screen where it says ETE, estimated time on routes, then yeah, that says 1 hour 50, so I'd add maybe another 10 or 15 to that. Yeah, 2 go around. So on the third attempt, you basically have to land it, right? And that was where they were at. I haven't tried that sim yet, actually. It's one of those things that sort of keep meaning to do. Yeah, that sim seems quite intimidating. I feel like if I was to go on there, I would probably just annoy everyone to start with. And I'm not sure it would add that much to the sim. Or to the stream, rather. Because I want to be sort of talking to you guys and stuff. I don't really want to have to be worrying about ATC so much. Maybe I'll try it in observer mode. See if I can get a feel for what it's like. Appreciate the likes so far, by the way. 6 likes. That's a good start. If you are in the chat and you're liking what you see, please do consider pressing that like button. It's free and it helps the stream so much. It really does. Use ATC in the sim, yeah. I mean, really, now I've started using SimBrief. Kind of don't need to use it. I mean, you can if you want to sort of get the whole experience. What runway are we going to land on? Runway 12. The only other default planes. You're on PC though, right? I would strongly suggest you get the fly-by-wire. Really nice plane. Completely free. Have I ever thought about deleting my channel when I was at the beginning? As in like the beginning of my YouTube channel? No, not really. Oh, were you having trouble getting it to work? Yeah, I think I remember you saying something about that now. Yeah. Yeah, that is weird. I mean, were you using the piece of software that Fly-by-Wire give you? Their, like, installer? Because that should really take care of it all for you. Yeah, so no, I never really considered deleting the channel when I started it. I started the channel... Alright, so what I did, I started a channel under my own name, and I uploaded a couple of like YouTube short landings, almost on a bit of a dare. Someone just said, oh, you should do that because it'll be funny. I was like, oh, okay. Why not? See what happens. And I did it, and I got quite a lot of views. And I got like 38 subscribers. But I felt conflicted because I also like to stream other stuff. I like to stream like more general sort of PC gaming, you know, like Call of Duty, Halo, Valorant, you know, like the PC kind of games, first-person shooters mostly. And I felt really conflicted because if you imagine if you subscribe to my channel because of my flight sim videos, probably you're not going to like other videos that I post. If I start posting like a Call of Duty video, you're going to be like, well, what's this? I subbed for the flight sim stuff, so I didn't know what to do. So then I made a second channel, which is this channel, where I just focus purely on flight sim. That's all I do on this channel. Then I have my personal channel where I do everything else. So like over the weekend I was streaming Call of Duty because that's just come out, the new one. So you kind of got to play the game a little bit with YouTube. You can't just flip-flop between different things. One channel for one thing seems to be the rule of thumb. Can I repeat a little slower? Yeah, sure. So Fly-by-Wire give you an installer. So that's a piece of software from them that you install on your PC, and you then use that to install the A320NX, the plane that we're in now. So you shouldn't have to go fiddling around in your files and your folders and all that stuff trying to copy stuff, and you should just click one button using their installer package and it will sort it all out for you. No, Valorant isn't a jump scare game, it's a tactical shooter. The best way I can describe Valorant is if you imagine Counter-Strike mixed with Overwatch. That's probably the best way I can explain it. And there's France. Can I share the other? I literally just have. I was just copying and pasting it. What's the worst comment you've ever had on this channel? I haven't really had any like nasty comments very much on this channel. It's kind of like the Flight Sim lot are a good bunch. Is kind of what I've come to think. Occasionally you get people saying they sort of give you like a well actually. So if you put a landing video up, it's like, well actually you shouldn't have done it like that. You should have done it this way. You get quite a bit of that, I think. That is my face, yeah. Face reveal. Yeah, you get quite a lot of people trying to like correct you, and I guess they're just excited to share their knowledge, which is great. Like I don't take it. I think some people could take it badly. They could, if they were the ones that had the channel, they'd almost want to be like fighting back. Like, no, actually, I was right and you're wrong. Whereas I'm not really too worried about that, you know. Live and learn. If someone's got something to add and they can help me, then that's great, you know. Oh, look who's in the chat. You made it. How you doing? Yeah, so if you want any disappointing Call of Duty content, feel free to sub to my other channel. Finally you made it. I did put a community post up over the weekend saying like, I'll be streaming on this channel over the weekend, but I don't know if anyone actually saw it. I don't know if YouTube sort of pushed it out. I get the feeling perhaps it didn't. I should probably do a new profile picture on that channel. It's quite an old image of me. Already pressed it. Appreciate it. So do you following YouTube algorithm? Like playing something that is viral? No, I tend to just play whatever I like. I'm kind of... Whoops. Kind of not into chasing the algorithm too much. And the algorithm is a weird thing. Didn't turn my lights off, did I? Too busy talking to your fault. You distracted me. Yeah, I mean, the best way to think of the YouTube algorithm, I think a lot of YouTubers, especially early on, get caught in this trap of trying to somehow fool the algorithm, or trick it, or like try and press just the right buttons, type just the right thing into your title. Whereas, really, the algorithm is just really a representation of your audience. So as long as you make videos that your audience like, the algorithm will recommend it. Because that's all it does. It just looks at various metrics, such as how many people saw the thumbnail and then clicked on it, and then when they clicked on it, how much of the video did they watch. And if those basically stack up to be like, yeah, quite a lot of people clicked it that saw it, and they watched a fair bit of the video, then your video will get pushed further. It's kind of as simple as that, really. Trying to somehow hack your way to the top, like growth hacks that you hear about, like do this thing on YouTube and you'll get 1 million subs. It's like, no, you probably won't, not if your videos suck. Oh, I spelt the thing wrong, didn't I, in the poll? Yeah, it's one sure way to burn yourself out as a YouTuber, is to constantly chase the algorithm. I mean, really what you should be doing is embracing all of YouTube's features, such as, you know, you've got YouTube Shorts, you've got regular videos, and you've got live streams. You should really be doing all 3 of those. From my perspective, Shorts are really good for bringing in new people to the channel. Really, really good, because they sort of spread far and wide, and they spread like wildfire. Like they just take off out of nowhere, no pun intended. Like you'll upload it and it will be sat at 0 views for like 2 hours, and then the graph goes up like in a straight line to maybe like 7,000, and then it stops. But you reach 7,000 people, and out of that 7,000 people you might get 10 subs, and those are 10 new people that might come and find you in the live stream next time you go live, that kind of thing. The one I find the hardest on this channel is the regular videos. Just like a standard YouTube video. Let's say I make a 5-minute video of like a landing somewhere. I always struggle with those. They seem to perform quite poorly relative to all the other content that I make. Some people like them, and those that do watch them tend to watch quite a bit of it, but then there's quite a lot of people that bounce off of it really quickly, so that draws your averages down. It's cloudy today. Right, new poll. Mostly because I made a spelling mistake in the original. Yeah, the clouds on here look so good as well. Like, I know clouds in real life look good, but the clouds on this game really are a marvel. They do such a good job with them. I don't know why the mini-map is showing us that we're off course, because we are very much on course. Yes, I did. Ah. That's not a bad view. Still think the 737 MAX is dangerous. I don't know enough about it, if I'm being perfectly honest. If they say it's safe, then I guess we have to take their word for it. I don't know. Yeah, is the honest answer. But the poll seems to be in favour of some music, so let's go for it. No, you didn't miss anything. We're just chilling with a bit of music now for the cruise. What I will say is I do need to go and get a new cup of coffee because mine has sadly gone very cold. Where do I get the music I play? The music is Stream Beats. So there's a guy called Harris Heller. He used to be a Twitch streamer. He's since moved over to YouTube. And one of the problems he noticed when he was streaming in his early days back on Twitch was that if you stream any music at all, that's like, you know, music from that you'd hear on the radio or whatever, you would get a copyright strike on your channel because it's not your music to use. So he made his own music and he made it free for everyone to use on their streams and YouTube videos, which is very cool of him. So he makes his money when people play it on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon Music and wherever. Yeah, it is awesome. It's good for him as well. It's a good moneymaker. Can you imagine you got thousands and thousands of streamers all day, every day, playing background music? That's a lot of royalties he gets paid out from Spotify. A lot of money. But then it cost him a lot of money to have the music made in the first place, because he didn't make it, he commissioned it. So... very smart cookie though. You should check him out on YouTube. It's called Senpai Gaming. Or just Google Harris Heller, you'll find him. Hey, Jameson's in the chat. How you doing? You like the music? Nice. I like it too. Yeah, it makes for some nice chill content. I do worry that me talking over it kind of ruins the whole vibe, but you know. Watermelon, how you doing? Everyone's turning up now. Ryanair music on. Do they still play that tune when they land? What time are we landing? So if you look at the stats, maybe you can't see it depending on what size screen you're watching on. Stats at the top of the screen where it says ETE. ETE stands for estimated time en route, and we're about an hour and a half at the moment. Play the Ryanair song when we land. Well, the last time I flew with Ryanair was 2000 and... when was it? 2016? And they did then, so... Right, I'm going to go grab some coffee. You all behave yourselves and enjoy the views and the tunes. I'll be back in a bit. Alright, I'm back. With coffee. What does he mean by behave ourselves? I was only joking. Do I use a joystick? Yes, I do. I use the Thrustmaster Airbus TCA Sidestick thing. I think that's what it's called. Fried rice. Where do I get the name Air Not from? Well, Not is my last name, so I kind of made my own little virtual airline. See? Basically, whenever I come to name anything, what do I mean by behave ourselves? Oh, I was only joking. I meant nothing by it. Just me being silly. Can I make a tutorial? How did I make the livery? Oh my goodness. I honestly don't know if I could do it again if I had to. It was it's really difficult. I managed to stumble my way through it. You have to edit the what is it? Is it DDS files? I think it's DDS or DSS. And then you have to sort of overlay your own graphics on them. I had to use a program called paint.net because that was the only thing I could find that wasn't Photoshop that could load the DDS files. Yeah, it's crazy difficult. TOC is top of descent. So that is to say the point at which you would stop cruising and begin your descent. Yeah, the problem is now I've made it on one airline, or one aircraft. I'd like to make it on all the others that I fly, but then that's basically meaning I have to do it like 5 more times, and it'd be like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Oh, sorry, I completely misread that. I use Mr. I'll answer to most things, so you call me whatever you want. Yeah, I'm tempted to just look on Fiverr because I'm fairly sure there's people on there that do it. I don't know if I'm worth just like paying the $50 or whatever it'd be to get them all done. Then I can just forget about it. Do I live alone? No, I don't live alone. I have many humans and animals around me. That's a good question, actually. Once I learn the 737, how often will I use it compared to the A320? That is a good question. I feel like I can sort of get my way through a flight now. I get things wrong. Like if there was a 737 pilot in the chat, they'd be like, okay, you're doing that wrong. But I can get us up and get us down. I don't know. I do just enjoy the A320. Irrespective of knowing one better than the other, I just like the A320 quite a lot. Feels like a nice aircraft. I think what appeals to me about the Boeing is the fact that I don't understand it. Yeah, isn't that called the type rating? So you get your type rating on a certain aircraft, and then that is what you fly, basically, until you get a type rating on another. You said you had a joystick for the A320. Would you get a... Oh, no. You're literally in my head. I was thinking that exact thing. I was like, if I start flying the Boeing more, I'm probably going to need to buy the yoke, aren't I? I was thinking that last night, and I started looking at them again. I was like, oh, should I buy one? There's so much money. Which company do I like more, Airbus or Boeing? I tend not to really like companies. I think once you start liking a company, any company, eventually you'll be disappointed. I think you should like the products, or single product that a company makes. You don't have to like them all. But I think to then sort of blindly become a fan of a company, probably a bad idea. Become a fan of a product, probably not a fan of a company. How long did it take me to fully learn the A320? I don't think it took me that... I mean, to be honest, I don't really feel like I've fully learnt it. I've learnt enough such that we can do what we do here, but I've no doubt there's so much more about this plane that I don't know. It's one of those things where the more you know, the more you realise you don't know. I remember when I went to like university for like computing, doing computer science. Before I went to university, I thought I knew everything. I was like the man, I knew all the computer stuff. Ask me anything, I had an answer. Didn't matter whether the answer was wrong, I had an answer. Then when I got to university, it's like, oh wow, these people actually know what they're talking about, like big time, like they really know. And they're so open about the fact that there's still so much more they don't know. And that's what keeps them learning. It's quite an eye-opening experience, that. So whenever I feel like I know everything about a thing now, I'm always very conscious that there's probably loads more that I don't know. It's really cloudy today, isn't it? Can I sell a Wutar in your airline? Have I ever lied on stream? Not to my knowledge. Share us the chill music. Yeah, it's just called Stream Beats. Search it in Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you're using. Do I speak any other languages? No. I mean, I did French at school, but I was never very good. I could probably go into a shop and, like, ask for a coffee. I'm not sure I can give you a link, it's just on like Spotify. Like all the streaming services, you'll find it if you just search for Stream Beats. I'll type it in the chat. I suppose we could do plane spotting if we went onto VATSIM and we parked ourselves at an airport. We could watch other people land. I start to like aviation? Good question. Yeah, there's a massive playlist. I usually listen to the lo-fi stuff. There's several albums that are classed as lo-fi. If you go onto streambeats.com, the website, you can download the tracks if you just want to listen to it. I feel like I think he's got a link to his Google Drive or something where you can just download the tracks. Which is how I'm playing these off my computer locally. When did I start liking aviation? Probably when I was a kid. So my dad was or is a truck driver, and in the school holidays I would go with him in the truck, and quite often he'd have to go to London. And I always remember like driving into London with him in the passenger seat of the truck, and you'd see all the planes landing into Heathrow, and I was just like, whoa, that's so cool. I think that's probably where it started. Hey Zesty, how's it going? Welcome on in. What's my favourite aircraft? Oh, that's difficult. It's hard to choose. I mean, on this game, I like flying the A320 just because of the way it feels and that kind of stuff. And the way it flies. I think I'd probably have to go overall, probably the 747, just because of its heritage and, you know. What do I think about the fight between Qatar and Airbus? So I've heard about this fight, but I don't know the first thing about it. So I'm not really sure I can have an awful lot to think about it. As always, I will rate it. Thank you, Tom. So we got the live weather on today, and hence all the cloud cover, but I have been to Gatwick. I've never noticed that sign. As in on the sim or in real life? Is my livery available on the default plane? I'm not sure actually. I think I've got a version of it somewhere that did work on the default plane. The problem you've got is sometimes as they do the sim updates, you need to update your liveries. Put it there as a prank. What, in real life? It is my airline. It went on the news. That's funny. That is funny. I've flown out of Gatwick once. Flew to Vegas from Gatwick on a 747. First and only time I've been on a 747. And probably could well be the last time, because they are falling out of favour, aren't they? All began with the first flight of the A350. Autopilot rejected takeoff. Oh. Oh, you're taking an A380 soon. Nice. Never been on one of those. Absolutely amazing aircraft. Oh, I've been to St Martin. Oh, that's the one with the where you get like the really cool landings with people stood on the beach, isn't it? Not been there in real life. I think I've landed there once on the sim, albeit not on stream or for the channel. Maybe we should give it a go sometime. No way, we're nearly at 20 likes. That's awesome. Thank you all. Seriously, that really does help the channel so much. So I really do appreciate that. A380 or 747. So I really like the A380 just because of its sheer size, and it always... I understand how they get off the ground, but there's still that part of you that's like, how does it get off the ground? It's so big. It's that sense of scale that I don't quite think you get from the 747. But then the 747 has a load of heritage, and it's always been there, isn't it? Like the Queen of the Skies, that kind of thing. You're thinking about doing a technical channel about aviation? That'd be cool. Do you ever watch Real Engineering? That's a cool channel. Did A380s get expired? So I think A380s, they've stopped... they stopped manufacturing them, didn't they? Wait, you're boarding an A380 now? That's amazing. In real life. Don't worry about the autocorrector, I can usually figure out what you mean. I wouldn't worry about the odd spelling mistake. Well, you have a good flight on that A380. I didn't realise you were actually at an airport about to board. That's very cool. Have a great flight. Wherever you go, and have a great time. King of the skies. We know when the A380 is coming out from fly-by-wire yet? I guess we don't. What's the longest trip I've ever done? So on the sim, probably... Gotta go. Really want to see the landing. Hey, don't worry. The video will, the stream will stay up as a video afterwards, so you can always jump back in. But appreciate seeing you. It's always nice seeing you in the chat. So thank you for coming by. You all have a great day. Yeah, so the longest trip I've done on the sim would probably be either Heathrow, New York, or Heathrow, Dubai. The longest trip I've done in real life would be Gatwick to Vegas. That was 10 hours 45, I think, from memory. Although coming back home, I guess would be longer because we went to San Francisco after Vegas, so we flew San Francisco back to London. But it was broken up into different legs, so I'm not sure if that counts. Yeah, we're getting some good views on this stream. That's good. I'll go full time, shall I, next week? Imagine that. I don't know how many subs you would need to be able to go full time. No worries, Watermelon. Nice having you in the chat. Hopefully catch up with you again soon. Appreciate you coming by. Face reveal. I sort of already have with that other channel. Better get subbed over there, by the way. I'll know if you don't. Why does it say the age of the A350? I mean, I did consider with the other channel maybe getting a camera set up. But for the Flight Sim channel, it just doesn't seem like the right format to have someone on webcam the whole time. I'm not opposed to being on camera. It just feels like almost like as an artistic decision, this channel isn't right for that, in my view. But a more traditional gaming stream, perhaps it could add something because you kind of get that reaction from the streamer, like, you know, if someone snipes you from a mile away, you kind of get the whole like reaction to that, and if you're having a really great moment, the audience can see you enjoying it. I don't know. I shall muse on it. I mean, for now I'm just streaming without the cam anyway, on the other channel. It did make me grateful for this channel, I will say that. Streaming on the other one over the weekend, it's like, it's just like no one turned up. You forget kind of what you've built on this one sometimes. Because all of a sudden, if I got one viewer on the other one, I was like, ooh, one viewer. That's awesome. Whereas if I had one viewer here now, I'd be like, oh, I've only got one viewer. How are things looking over here? 443 miles to go. Okay. So we're at 37,000 feet. Let's work out our top of descent. I think it's smart for Qatar to go for an all-Boeing fleet. It's probably smart for any airline to go for an all-something fleet. You know, like the budget airlines. Oof, gonna have to be that, isn't it? So 37,000, we want to get down to 6,000. Do it at 1,700, but 120 miles. So that makes us about 280 miles away. BRB got something to do, no worries. See you in a bit. Really high clouds today. 37,000 feet and we're still skipping through the clouds. Not that you can tell because of all the cloud, but we are just coming over some land. Yeah, I don't know about that then. I guess I don't really understand Qatar Airways that much. I mean, you'd think they would know though, right? Hopefully they got a plan. Maybe some routes are just going to stop. Oh, hey, look, we can see something through the clouds. Just. What's up ahead? No, look, it's starting to clear. You're back. That was quick. That cloud is starting to clear off. You can actually see what's beneath us now. Yeah, it is live weather, and I'm a little bit apprehensive about it, if I'm being completely honest with you. Just because the last few times we've tried live weather, it's just felt like it's not been quite right. Yeah, it's tricky when two big businesses fight. Lots of money at stake, lots of politics involved. So the minimap is from a piece of software called Sim Toolkit Pro. So it's like an add-on and you have to connect it to the sim. And then you sort of load the map into a web browser. So I've overlaid it in my streaming software. Called Sim Toolkit Pro. I'll type it in. It's a standalone piece of software. They've got their own website and you can download it from there. Gives you info on your feet per minute, things like that as well, when you land. Quick look, see how we're doing. That can't be right, can it? Not available on Flight Sim. It's not in the marketplace. It's a separate standalone piece of software you run on your PC, so you just go to Sim Toolkit Pro's website and download the software from them directly. Not sure what you mean. So Sim Toolkit Pro is a piece of software. It's a program that you run on your PC alongside the flight sim. Are you okay? That's fine. I don't mind answering your questions at all. Best thing you can do is type into Google Sim Toolkit Pro and you'll find their website, hopefully, and you can download the software from them. Get it installed and then you can connect it to the sim and it will draw you a map of where you are. And if you're using SimBrief to make your flight plans, you can import your SimBrief plan into it as well, which is quite nice. That's how I get the green line on the map, because obviously it knows where we're going based on that flight plan. Has the flight simulator ever crashed on the live stream? Yes, but only once. Where were we? We were coming into... We did a flight from San Francisco to Vegas, and we were coming into Vegas literally on like the last couple of turns to come onto final approach, and then it just crashed. It's so annoying. Like, I've had a few weird things happen on stream that don't necessarily qualify as a crash, but were equally as annoying. Like, where was it? Was it Seattle? Where we fell through the runway? One of the runways just... yeah. Didn't work. And in Vegas, I think we took off from Vegas once to fly somewhere, and we were taxiing, and then the plane just fell through the taxiway. What time is it in the UK? It is 10 past 11 in the morning. Would have been 10 past 12 in the afternoon, but the clocks have changed. So now it gets dark early in the evenings. That's starting to look a bit more like Spain out the window there, isn't it? Oh, I don't have a topic. Just gonna watch and hear some white noise from the stream. Yeah, you enjoy it. You lurk away, enjoy the noise. And I'll try not to crash the aeroplane. What's the airline you've flown the least? Don't know actually. Let me just do a quick count in my head. So I've flown EasyJet a lot, so I can't count them. Probably Eurowings. So So I've only flown with them once. And when I say once, I mean once in one direction. So I didn't actually come back with Eurowings. They took me there, but they didn't bring me back. So that was like a one-way leg. So that's probably going to be it. I was going to say Southwest in the US because I did Vegas to San Francisco with them, but then of course they took me back to Vegas as well a few days later, so... yeah, it's tricky. Why didn't we come back with Eurowings? So we went to Prague, and for whatever reason on that day, Eurowings were the best price with the most convenient time for us to go. EasyJet either wanted to take us out really late or really early, and Eurowings were like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which made it much easier to get to the airport. But then Eurowings just were not available to bring us back on the day we wanted to come back, so we had to go with EasyJet. Same planes, A320 both ways, but Eurowings were spec'd a bit nicer, I thought. They had nicer seats. And everything just felt a little bit more orderly, a little bit more calm, a little bit more... like the plane was only half full as well. Probably not even that. Just quite a nice chilled little flight. Everyone was in a good mood. The cabin crew weren't rushed off their feet, they were just happy to be there. Whereas EasyJet, well, you know what EasyJet's like. It's a bit of a cattle market, isn't it? Yeah, there's very little difference in price actually. Eurowings were very reasonable. I think maybe Eurowings were like maybe £10 more, but then you would pay that with EasyJet to go at the more convenient time of day anyway, so probably more than that. How old am I? I'm 33. Old enough to know better. Oh, I'd prefer Eurowings all day long. All day long. Right, how are we doing? So we're 150 miles from top of descent, more or less. So not long. Not long. Quite a bit of wind going on, haven't we? Right now is the cheapest with prices up to $3 US. To answer your previous question, Jameson, no, I've never flown American. In real life, that is. How are we doing for fuel? Plenty. Yeah, I guess the only way I'd get to fly American is if I was to go to America, which isn't on the cards anytime soon. Isn't Norwegian quite a cheap way to get across the Atlantic? Or at least it used to be. Get the landing song ready. Yeah, it's all rather scenic, isn't it, this? Still got an ETE of 37 minutes. So I would say in the next 45 to 50 minutes we will have landed. Let's just check in down with this thing here. So we're 283 miles from Malaga. And there's a waypoint, if I show you. See that waypoint there? MAR? It wants us at 6,000 feet, or above 6,000, so no lower than 6. Then 4,800. Then 3,2, then into land. And the waypoint that they want us at 6,000 at, or rather above 6,000, it's 247 miles away, and our descent calculations at a nice steady 1,700 feet per minute means we need about 120 miles to do that. Oh, hey Bush Pilot. Love the channel, just sub. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the sub. Genuinely appreciate everyone, so that's great, thank you. Have I ever sued an airline? No, although we got delayed for like 20 hours with Delta coming out of Detroit, and all the passengers, that you could hear them, they were like, we're going to sue for compensation. They were all going to try it, apparently. I don't know if they ever got anywhere, but... No worries, Jameson. See you in a bit. I mean, it seemed like the conventional wisdom among a lot of passengers that had flown a lot were like, oh yeah, you'll get it if you like claim compensation, you'll get hundreds of pounds out of them, but we never did. I don't know if we actually would have done or not. I kind of felt like they treated us really well. They gave us loads of vouchers for food, they put us up in a hotel. It's actually quite nice to stay in the hotel, kind of break the journey up a little bit. So while technically maybe we could have done, I would have felt a bit bad about doing that. Maybe I'm just maybe I need to be more of a hard-nosed businessman. Right, I'm going to take a very quick break. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. And I'll tell you about the Delta thing in a minute when I'm back. Give me a couple of minutes, I'll be back. See you shortly. Alright, I'm back. No pilot should leave the plane without pilot monitoring. That's what you all are for. You can't remember why the flight was delayed. So the flight was delayed, I think. I mean, we never got the full story, I don't think, but it was delayed because of an issue with the cooling system, like the air conditioning. Something burst, was how it was described. Such that the plane stank of this like vapoury, coolanty sort of smell. Because we landed on a 737, it was one of those extended range 737s that took us from Vegas to Detroit. And by complete chance we pulled up next to the A330 we were supposed to be transferring onto. And it looked weird because like, all the doors were open, even on the side where the jetways weren't. And everyone was like, that's weird, why are all the doors open? Of course they were trying to get the smell out of the plane because it just stunk. So they dragged their heels for about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, and eventually said, yeah, the part we need to replace we don't have, the plane stinks, you can't go on it. So they put us up in hotels, and what is that live weather system doing? When are we going to fly to Singapore? That's a good question. If we fly to Singapore, it would be quite cool to do it from New York and do the polar route. That would be awesome. So that would have to be one of those pre-recorded flights where we stream it, but it's actually a pre-recorded video because there's no way I would have the time to do it all live and be around at the exact time the plane needs to land. So I'd have to do it in bits, almost make a big video of it. We can definitely do that. I like Nick's idea earlier of doing 747 Heathrow to New York. That could be quite nice. A320 is harder to land than a Kodiak 100. I'm not even sure I'm familiar with that plane. Is that like a single prop plane or something different? It's one day from New York to Singapore. You'll have to watch it in bits. I always leave the DVR function on my streams as well, in case anyone wants to like wind back, or you know, if they join partway through but they want to start from the start, they can do that. Right. Not far to go now, about 30 miles, not 30 miles, what am I talking about? About 70 miles. And we'll start descending down into Malaga. Hopefully get beneath this cloud, we'll actually be able to see where we're going. Turboprop single engine, oh cool. My father-in-law was saying to me, like, you should go for your actual license in real life, because he's done it. He's flown the Cessna. I think he's got a 172, or he had a 172. And when I say had, I mean he had like a share in one that loads of people owned, because they're very expensive, obviously. Hey, green light, you're new to the channel, so you don't know much about the channel. That's fair enough. I mean, we basically fly airplanes around. That's kind of it. We do some live streams like this. I put up some YouTube shorts of like landings and takeoffs. I do some longer form videos of landings and stuff. Just basically play flight sim. Some of the streams I do live, like this, where it's me talking, and others are like pre-recorded videos that I let stream out that are like full flights. sort of from a passenger view, sort of that kind of view. Some people like them for white noise, relaxation, that sort of thing, so doing a little bit of everything. Right, so let's see. The weather is 100 degrees and 9 knots. Allegedly. Hey, Indy's in. How you doing, Indy? Good, glad to hear it. Right, we need to keep an eye on our distances. 50 miles to top of descent. So we're using live weather today, and the last time I tried live weather coming into Dublin, it just felt a bit weird. It felt like the system was a bit bugged. Am I going to stream on the 6th of November? I don't know, what day is that? Hey, Watermelon's back. Are we close to landing yet? Close to top of descent. Probably about half an hour out. I don't know what day the 6th of November is. Friday's the 4th, isn't it? So 5th, Sunday. Am I streaming on Sunday? Probably not. Yeah, probably not in that case. Because I'm away, and then if I get back late-ish, probably won't have time. I will be streaming on the 7th, on the Monday. If I stream anywhere on the Sunday, it'll probably be my other channel. Hope I make my own company in real life and make this delivery and do actual flights. Yeah, I just need, what, like a few $100 million to buy the plane. I can't see that being a problem though. I'm sure the banks will lend us the money. Other channel, right? That's interesting. Because I put up a couple of posts over the weekend. Because basically the new Call of Duty came out on Friday, so I put up a post saying I'll be over there streaming at the weekend, playing Call of Duty. If anyone wants to drop in and say hello, that sort of thing. And I did find it weird because no one did. Not that I was necessarily expecting you to, but I thought maybe like at least one person might, and it didn't happen. So I wonder if YouTube didn't really push out that community post. Possible. I'll post a link to it. There you go. Also a face reveal. So that channel is where I do all my other stuff that isn't flight sim. There isn't much there at the moment because I've been sort of neglecting that channel. But the plan is to do a little bit more over there. But the flight sim stuff will remain here. I just feel like if I was to start streaming... imagine if I started streaming Call of Duty on this channel, everyone would be like, what on earth is this? I did not sign up for Call of Duty, I signed up for flight sim. So... That's why the two channels. Yeah, feel free to head on over and sub. So I feel like it's really hard to get that channel moving actually. It's like starting all over again. I'm underrated. Wow. I'm often underperforming. I don't know about underrated. You're too kind. How's the mix, by the way, with like my voice and the music? Is the music too loud? Or is it okay? It's hard to tell. I can hear it all in my headphones, but I'm never sure what you actually hear. It's perfect. Okay, that's good. Thank you for letting me know. Right, it's got to be time to descend now, surely. 141. Well, at least we can enter our desk data before we do that. We will be descending in a couple of moments. Yeah, I'm just going to pop in all this information over here. What's QNH? 1012. Is that 12 or 21? 21. Good job I checked. And the temperature. 22 and it's 100 degrees and 9 knots for the wind, and we'll put 200 in the radio as our minimums. We're good. Are you interested in K-pop? At the risk of sounding out of touch, I don't have a clue what K-pop is. So 132, and we need how many miles? Oh, 125. We better get going. Korean pop. Oh, okay. Yeah, so my answer is no, I don't know anything about that. Ah, wrong way. There we go. So we should start to hear the engines drop back. Do I play Minecraft? I play Minecraft with my kid, but I don't really play it that much. I don't really play it for myself. I play it to amuse him. We play it together. It's quite a nice thing to do. Okay, I'll check it out. Blackpink. I do have a kid. Astonishing, isn't it, that I'm responsible for another human being? What's the most embarrassing thing that I've done live streams on any of my channels? I don't know, actually. I do have a kid. I'm one of those cool gamer dads. I tell you what though, that kid is so lucky, because when I was a kid, I was so desperate for like all the gaming stuff, and like didn't have all the stuff, and like my parents didn't really get it. Whereas now this kid is like, I'll just use all my stuff. I'd have been like the happiest kid in the world if I was him. Because I don't like Minecraft. I do like Minecraft. It's just like if I wouldn't play it if I'm on my own, put it that way. If I'm not doing this, I'm probably playing Gran Turismo or I'm playing Call of Duty. I probably wouldn't choose to play Minecraft. But it's a cool activity for us to do together. We're kind of getting into the crafting side of it now, because we only play creative mode. We just like build stuff for fun. Yeah, Gran Turismo is awesome. We play Gran Turismo together as well, because we've got like the steering wheel set up here. So I've kind of got a little box that I put the pedals on so we can reach them. It's surprisingly good. Not as good as me, obviously, but can't be having that. I think based on where we've started our descent, I think we'll probably need all of the track that we're on now. But I take your point. Maybe I should stream some Gran Turismo on the other channel. I need to get a capture card though to get the PS5s. Get the PS5's video into the PC to be able to stream it, I guess. What PC do I use? I built it back in 2020, end of 2020. But I only completed it in March 2021 because of the GPU crisis. Well, the GPU crisis, it sounds a bit extreme. The chip shortages. But yeah, the parts are in the description. So it's got a 5600X CPU, 32 gig of RAM, and a Nvidia 3070. Those are like the high level parts, I guess, that people would want to know. I'm thinking about building a second one though. Is it expensive in the UK for the spec for your PC? So prices do seem a bit high at the moment, I would say, for PC parts. For the new stuff, that is. So if you wanted to build with like the latest Ryzen 7000 series and the latest Nvidia 4000 series, and AMD are going to announce their 7000 series this Thursday, that new stuff will be expensive, like, make no mistake. Because the prices went up during the pandemic, because A, there was a shortage of chips, B, everyone was stuck at home wanting to play PC games. There was a massive shortage, so the prices went way, 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 way up. And there was a crypto mining thing going on at the same time. So graphics card prices went up, artificially went up. But what I think Nvidia and AMD have seen is that people were still willing to pay the prices. So lo and behold, the prices have gone up. Which is a shame, really. But that's not to say you can't get good deals on the used market for the current gen stuff. So like the 3000 series Nvidia stuff, like the one I have. Even new, you can find them fairly reasonably priced. I think in total my build cost me around £1,200, so £1,200. And I overpaid a little bit for the GPU just because of how expensive they were. So the list price for mine should have been £479 or £469. That's what Nvidia said the MSRP of the 3070 should be. I ended up buying a Gigabyte card at $599, and I know that was more expensive, but that was still quite good at the time. And I just wanted to get the PC finished because I had all the other parts since mid-December. And I just couldn't get a GPU for like 3 months. Yeah, that's right, 1200. Yeah, I was thinking about building a second PC so I could do some longer haul stuff. Because the trouble is, if I do a 10-hour flight on here, then my PC is out of action for 10 hours. I can't do anything else on it. 21 million? 21 million what? Guessing that's 21 million of another currency, not of pounds. Right, how are we doing? 21,000 feet. Yeah, that would be about right. The weird thing is, like, it used to be that, for us in the UK anyway, like, for example, when Apple would release a new laptop, so go back 10 years, Apple would release a new MacBook, and they would do their presentation out in America, and Steve Jobs or whoever would stand on stage and say, and it starts at $22.99, and then by the time it got into the UK, it'd be like $18.99 because of the dollar and the pound. But now it's like the pound it's gone the other way. If Apple say the new iPhone costs $7.99, over here it's like $8.69 or something weird. It's quite annoying. I'm just going to do a little experiment. $118 and 6. $3013. Yeah, 2023 is going to be a tough year for a lot of people. Sorry that you're bored. Not entirely sure what I can do to fix that. Yeah, 2023 is going to be a tough year. Like energy prices, food prices, like even doing the shopping every week, it's just getting more and more. Fuel's expensive, energy's expensive, food's expensive. It's not a huge amount we can do about it. Other than just suck it up and pay it. You can see on the mini-map how far away we are now. We're really not very far. "75 miles out. I didn't buy an electric car, no. No, I'm still on a diesel car. They do have solar panels though, so that might help when the prices of energy goes up. Yeah, that's right, 2030 they're going to be banned. What car do I drive? I have a BMW 5 Series. Quite an old one now. A 2012 model, I think. What was your comment? Let me scroll up. Can I tell you a coincidence that happened? I was taking off in a simulator, and when I just got lifted off, I saw a plane in the exact same phase and livery. Huh. "2040 it changed to electric." Yeah. The thing is, electric cars need to get more affordable, don't they? That's the thing. A landing song ready. I don't have it. Yeah, 5 Series is quite a nice car. We're about 70 miles from the airport. If you look at the mini-map, you can see where the line ends, although the mini-map is not displaying the correct route into the airport. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, the 5 Series is a cool car. I'm not sure I'd have another one though. So it's a 2012 model, and we bought it when it was about 18 months old to 2 years old, I forget. So it's done well, like it's lasted us 8 years. But yeah, I'm not sure I'd get another one. I sort of feel like I don't really care about cars anymore. Porsches, yeah, I think you spelled that right. Oh, actually, yeah, maybe that second way you spelled it was right. I don't know, to be quite honest with you. I forgot to hit the bell. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, I always used to like really care about cars, and I always wanted to have like the nice big car one day, and worked hard to get it, and then as soon as I kind of had it, I was a bit like, oh, that was silly. That was a load of money I didn't need to spend. So now I'm kind of over cars. I don't really care what car we have. Yeah, I bought the car from the dealership. Go. Right, I need to set this out of standard. Let's get some lights on the go. Right, what was the altimeter for Malaga again? Kind of got a bit distracted on that descent there. 3013. That's quite a way up, isn't it? A song named Butter. Okay, I'll check that out. I must admit, I'm a little bit over speed because I was looking out the window talking to you and I forgot. But we're almost at our descent rate. Where's decel? Decel's after there, that's fine. It is high air pressure, yeah. There we go, there's 6,000. Indy, you always want the go around. You love the go arounds, Indy, don't you? Unfortunately, we're not in a 737, so the chances of you getting one are less, but not necessarily zero. Looks like it's getting a bit dim in here. Need some lights. Oh, I can't multitask like that, Jameson. It's bad enough just trying to fly the plane. Okay, so what have we got in terms of waypoints? Let's zoom ourselves in a touch. 6,000, then we go to 4,800. We stay at 4,800. Then we go down to 3.2. Let's click that into the... so we can go down in hundreds and not thousands. I'll try and do a butter landing, but I can't promise. I haven't flown for a few days, and here I am getting all my excuses in. I realise that, but I do feel like after a few days away, the first one's always a little bit ropey. It seems quite dark, doesn't it? All that cloud cover. Yeah, it says phase cruise, I think, because we've levelled out. So it's just assuming that we're cruising, but we're not. We're going to descend again after this turn. It's just not very smart, the system. In the interest of time, I'm going to have to refuse the visual approach today because I have to be out of here in about half an hour. So I can't really afford a go around if I'm being completely honest. So I'm going to go with conditions that are less likely to get me a go around. Next time perhaps. You want to go around? Will I live stream again tomorrow? Possibly. Yeah. Unsure in what format yet. It may be one of the unmanned sort of things. Right, let's get ourselves down to 4,800. If I stream tomorrow, potential that it might be quite late for you. Yeah, I have to work today after this, and then I got to get the kids and stuff. Okay, you feeling those bumps? Definitely getting bumpy, isn't it? Right, let's activate our approach mode, shall we? Because we're not far out. Wow, it's very bumpy. Seems like a weird place to have us at 4,800 feet, doesn't it? Considering there's a big hill right in front of us. I guess it wants us to get over this hill at 4,000 feet. Then we drop down to 3,002, and then we turn that away and go into Malaga. There's a load of wind turbines up there. Let's get down to 3,200.
2,500.
Let's get our gear down. Yeah, it's an awesome approach, this one, Rick. I've never flown it in before. Hopefully be flying in real life in the new year into this airport.
2,500.
Yeah, I think it has ILS. All the charts that I could find online seem to suggest that it does in real life, yeah. Right. That's a very, very cool approach, isn't it? There we are. So what's the wind doing, most importantly?
2,500.
Try not to mess this up, please. I'll try. We've got a bit of a wind coming in from the right. Yeah, don't get your hopes up, guys. This could be a Ryanair classic.
2,500.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous approach, isn't it? So I'm guessing that one there's us.
2,500.
Anyway, appreciate you all coming along for this this flight today. It's been really good in terms of numbers. Thank you all for liking the stream, those that have. I say it really, really helps the channel enormously. More than I think most people realise. So I do thank you all for that. Right. Don't know if me zooming in here helps you see the instruments any better, or not really. The FPS, yeah, the FPS actually, I've limited it to 30. Just because it helps keep the power usage under control a little bit, what with the price of electricity. It's right. Auto brakes to medium, spoilers armed. Need to go a little bit over to the right, I think. Not by much. I must admit, I did just change the brightness setting on my monitor, and now we've gone a little bit high. Never mind, eh? There we go. Just got it back. So that wind has changed direction on us again, hasn't it? So apologies if I'm ignoring chat, I'm just trying to concentrate on this for the moment. Whoa, definitely getting blown around. Never quite sure how much you can kind of feel what I feel through the joysticks. Obviously I'm the one putting the input into the joystick, so I kind of get quite a good sense of the wind conditions. Whereas I worry that all you get is just me sort of blowing around everywhere helplessly. Come on, don't mess it up. You got people watching you. Oh, perfect timing for that pop-up. Thank you so much. My FPS is tanking.
500. 400. 400. 400.
Yeah, 400. 400. Looks like the pappies are
300.
in the wrong place.
Minimum. $100.
Off centre.
40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Blimey, that was late. That was a terrible landing. Yeah, I was way too high for that one. That was a bit rough. Yeah, that was really late. That was a bad landing. Smooth enough, yeah, just late. Still, we live and we learn, eh? Yeah, that's probably one of my worst landings to date. That was not good. Irish Captains isn't happy. It felt like the last 5 feet was more than 5 feet as well. Let's find us a gate, shall we? You believed in me. Yeah, the graphics are good. I'm not even sure where I'm going. Let's just go here. That'll do for now. Quite annoyed that that pop-up came up as well during the latter part of the descent. I don't know if you noticed, but the frames per second really dipped, and then it was almost like the plane then reappeared in a place where I didn't expect it to be. That was a bit weird. That's annoying that that happened at that exact time. But yeah, that was a strange landing. Not particularly happy with that. I'm going to kick myself for the rest of the day after that. I'm not going to lie to you. That will bother me for some time. But hey ho, it happens. It's all part of the learning. I did enjoy the stream though. I did enjoy chatting with you all, and I thank you all for coming. Yeah, it was lagging, so you saw it as well. That wasn't the stream lagging, that was the game lagging. That's the thing. That's the game was lagging for me, so I was obviously trying to input based on very, very few frames a second. Which doesn't excuse the whole thing. But it does go some way to it. Yeah, I think it was when we got that pop-up about the text-to-speech. See you later, Josh. Thanks for coming by. Sorry about the landing. The cruise and the approach were amazing, yeah. Are there replays? Subscribe to the channel and I'll put replays up in the coming days. But yeah, annoying that the stream sort of lagged out on us right when we needed the FPS to be as high as we needed it. But hey ho. Next time will be better. I promise. Well, actually, I can't promise that, but I'll try and do better next time. No worries. Thank you all for coming by. Appreciate it. And if you're new around here, feel free to hit the sub button, and I'll try and do a better landing for you next time. And with that, I'll wish you all a good day. And you all take care of yourselves. Catch you later.